We meet a local man who's been dealing with COVID-19 related symptoms nearly a year after contracting the virus. We'll learn about the importance of getting the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccines and enjoying the Super Bowl safely.
The four states most watched news starts now.
As we continue to learn more about the coronavirus, we're also learning more about the long-term impacts it can have on those who contract it. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Chris Warner has more.
Oswego resident Anil Garmacher is a truck driver who owns his own trucking business. He says he was on a delivery in late April of last year when he began to notice symptoms of COVID. So he went to the hospital to get checked out.
When I first got released from the hospital, we had trouble breathing for the first 3 months. They couldn't really figure out why. And we were in and out of the hospital and taking high doses of steroids. And stopped breathing, and my airway closed a few times.
Things seemed to go from bad to worse.
Before they put me on the ventilator, I thought I was going to die. They gave me an hour to say goodbye to my family before they put me on the ventilator and sent me up to Kansas City. But when I woke up and when I remembered who I was, because it took about a week, I thought that this was going to be over. We were going to get out. I beat the hardest part of it.
Freeman physician Dr. Rob McNabb says what Anil has been experiencing is known by a number of names, such as long COVID and long haulers.
And basically all those things describe one thing, which is symptoms that last longer than 12 weeks after the initial infection. And so as we've gone through this year, we've collected a lot of information along the way about these people that have these symptoms.
Dr. McNabb says extended symptoms and issues related to having COVID are becoming quite common and vary in severity. However, he says the severity of your COVID symptoms doesn't have an impact on any long-lasting conditions.
It would be pretty common to think that if you had a really bad infection and you were in the ICU, that you would be more likely to have these symptoms. But the truth is that even the patients who had very mild cases are still just as likely to have symptoms.
Anil says he's had several surgeries to stabilize his condition and still has more on the way. In the meantime, it's taking a toll on him and his family.
We've been kind of a family in a bubble. My girls that live with us, they're on virtual school, and we don't do very much social interaction, if any at all. We're very, very careful nowadays.
I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
Anil says some of his problems came as a result of being on the ventilator. He says COVID weakened his throat and the ventilator caused damage, which his doctors are working to repair. 83,000 people with COVID have died in January, the deadliest month of the pandemic so far. The CDC projects another 85,000 could die in the next 3 weeks. Officials say new COVID variants have now been detected in more than half the country. It's believed the vaccines also work on those mutations. A Missouri lawmaker says vaccines given to the wrong people is emblematic of problems that have dogged the vaccine rollout. Missouri lawmakers and their staff receive vaccines intended for other state employees. A team of vaccinators was in Jefferson City yesterday giving shots to employees of the Missouri Department of Transportation and the Department of Public Safety. State Health Department spokeswoman Lisa Cox said that all of the employees getting shots were in tiers approved for vaccinations. Word spread incorrectly that all state employees were eligible for the shots, and several lawmakers and their staffs showed up. More than 26 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in the U.S. That's according to data published today by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. About 1.2 million doses have been distributed since President Biden took office a little over a week ago. Nearly 21.7 million people have now received at least one dose of the vaccine. About 4.3 million have been fully vaccinated with both doses. 2 doses of the 2 coronavirus vaccines currently authorized in the U.S. are needed to be effective, and the CDC is urging vaccine recipients to get that second dose on time. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
While there's a small amount of wiggle room when it comes to getting vaccinated against the coronavirus, the CDC is urging Americans to make sure they get the second dose of the same vaccine on time.
That would be 3 weeks for the Pfizer vaccine and 4 weeks for the Moderna vaccine.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says they know life can get in the way and some may miss their second dose window.
In those rare circumstances, the second dose may be given up to 6 weeks or 42 days after the first.
The CDC says the most common vaccine side effects are pain, swelling, and redness in the arm where you got the shot, and more commonly seen after the second dose, chills, tiredness, and headache. The side effects usually start within a day or two of getting the vaccine, but go away after a few days. Most have been mild to moderate.
These symptoms mean that your immune system is revving up and the vaccine is actually working.
However, the CDC says a small number of people have had severe side effects that affected their ability to do daily activities. Walensky says severe allergic reactions, known as anaphylaxis, are not a major problem with the coronavirus vaccine so far, happening a handful of times.
Let me be clear. These are rare, treatable outcomes, and the COVID-19 vaccines are safe.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you've had a severe allergic reaction or an immediate allergic reaction, even if it wasn't severe, to any ingredients in the vaccines, the CDC says you should not get it. You can find a list of the ingredients on the CDC's website under the COVID-19 vaccines tab, CDC website. Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at the weather. It was good to see the sun for a while today, Doug.
Yeah, it definitely was. The first time we've had the sun all week long, and it also helped our temperatures out after a cold start of 27 degrees. Any snow on the ground melted very quickly, 43, and then our average high is 46, so right about where we should be. And the clouds have been kind of working back in, at least over the past couple hours. These are mid and upper level thin clouds, but we're going to have mostly cloudy skies tonight and then again tomorrow, even though we will get some sunshine. And this is all in advance of our next storm system producing very heavy amounts of rain out through parts of California, which they need as they don't get that much rain out across the western states. Temperatures mainly sitting into low to mid 30s, so it is cold, but our southerly wind will actually keep our temperatures up just a little bit for us tonight and really increase for us tomorrow. 40 by 9, 49 by noon. High temp up to 54 tomorrow afternoon. Rain rolls in tomorrow night. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Doug. Some Southeast Kansas residents confront problems with unemployment insurance. Vicki Geisler from Iola says she and her husband have been unemployed since March. But over the last 6 weeks, she hasn't been able to get any benefits from the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. And her husband's last check from unemployment is held up because of a security update at the Department of Labor.
Pay the people what you owe them, just pay out. Get things rolling so people can get their money because there's so many people that need it right now.
The Kansas Department of Labor tells us they aren't sure when unemployment checks will start going through again after the security update, just that they will go through eventually. And the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program won't launch until they do another system update. Missouri Senators Roy Blunt and Josh Hawley say they've reintroduced legislation aimed at improving the safety of duck boats. They originally filed the legislation in response to the sinking of a Branson duck boat in 2018. The legislation would authorize previously outlined National Transportation Safety Board recommendations, including provisions to require the use of life jackets and equipping all operating duck boats to be more buoyant in the case of emergency flooding. The new company plans to bring duck boats back to Branson. That company, Branson Duck Boats LLC, says it'll use boats, quote, proven to be unsinkable by the U.S. Coast Guard. A Missouri man faces federal charges accused of taking part in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. FBI agents and Springfield police took Zachary Martin into custody without incident on federal charges of unlawful activities on Capitol grounds, disorderly conduct, and demonstrating in the Capitol building. The storming of the Capitol by supporters of President Donald Trump happened on January 6th as Congress was meeting to vote to affirm President-elect Joe Biden's electoral win 5 people died in the riot. Still ahead, how to safely watch the Chiefs in the Super Bowl during this pandemic. And East Newton looks to keep its 11-game winning streak alive as the Patriots take on Joplin. Sports director Jacob Leonard has the highlights in sports. A whole lot of us are excited to celebrate the Super Bowl, just like that guy, but how can we do it safely? Well, KOAM's Bronte Saransky talked to restaurant owners and health professionals to find out.
Your Super Bowl parties may look a bit different this year. At least, that's what public health professionals recommend.
My advice would be to stay away.
Donna Stokes, an infection preventionist at Mercy Hospital, says that although we may be seeing a decline in COVID cases locally, we can't let our guard down just yet.
There's the potential to see a spike after the Super Bowl. I think people are really excited. Go Kansas City Chiefs. And I believe that we will see something very similar to what we saw after Christmas and New Year's.
She says that those wishing to visit a bar or restaurant to watch the game should opt for takeout. Local restaurant owner Floyd Hackett is trying to take precautions against the virus by having customers pre-order for game day and practicing social distancing.
You have to call, and you can call or come in and get on the prepaid list, and then or you can call and come in and get on the list to reserve a table. Now we're gonna have to do social distancing, and we're gonna have to make sure everybody's taken care of. But I mean, we during the game time and stuff, we did that. Everybody had a ball in here, so I mean, we could just go keep it going through the Super Bowl.
While this Super Bowl is certainly one to be excited about, it's important to keep safety in mind while celebrating. In Joplin, Bronte Saransky, KOAM News.
The Kansas City Chiefs will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl on February 7th. Maybe you've heard. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast. And later, some good news and bad news. The Chiefs offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, is staying with the team for at least another year. Reaction from Coach Reed in sports.
Well, at least we got some sunshine outside for us today. First time all week, so we'll definitely take it. And our temperatures reflected that as we actually went into the mid-40s for highs. So I'm very happy to see at least some sun, and we're going to get some sunshine again for us during the daytime hours tomorrow. Great time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. And warmer for us today. We couldn't even get to 32 yesterday, so we couldn't hit the freezing mark. But at least today we did go into low to mid 40s. 35 in Yates Center, Parsons 34, Indy 35, Miami 34, Pitt 33, Carthage 34, Cassville 32. So everybody pretty cold. Will drop back near 30. Not as cold as what we had last night, just due to the south winds, kind of keeping our temperatures up just a bit. And these are really going to increase during the daytime hours for us tomorrow. A lot of clouds, mid and upper level clouds. They're thin, but mostly cloudy skies for us tonight into tomorrow, even though I do think we'll see some sunshine and a pretty good day. And that's due to a nice little ridge of high pressure. You can see it looks these are upper level maps, kind of a little hill on top of us. And that's a nice ridge of high pressure. That's going to give us pretty good weather. And then out to the west, here's our next storm system that is centered right across central parts of California. And that will start to roll in for us tomorrow night. Tonight's okay, just cold near 30. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. The clouds are really going to increase during the afternoon, but the day looks pretty good. 31 to start, 49 by noon, high temp of 54. But we are going to have those south winds at about 10 to 20 and gust higher than that. So it is going to be a little windy. Clouds thicken tomorrow night. We'll start to get some showers in here late tomorrow night, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it really increases Saturday morning showers. Could even have some thunderstorms, nothing strong nor severe, but actually some thunderstorms. And then the heavy rain will start to push out early Saturday afternoon. We get a nice dry slot that kicks in. So once we get that, we may even get a little bit of sunshine and a few random showers from that point on as that system will slowly rotate away. But it could drop some decent amounts of rain. I think a lot of us a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, even some areas upwards to an inch of rain from this next storm system, as it's definitely a pretty wet one. So you can see it spinning out of here on Saturday, a little bit cooler on Sunday, and then we go right back underneath a ridge of high pressure to start the February. Gosh, I can't believe it's already February. And then here comes a stronger storm system by Wednesday into Thursday. We may get a little bit of snow on the backside, but here's the key. You can see the jet streams out of Canada as we head into next weekend. That's going to draw in much colder temperatures, so any systems we do see will have the potential to get some snow. So cool start next week, warm up a little bit Tuesday, rain, snow chances Wednesday and Thursday, and then some light snow on Saturday. May get some flurries as well on Super Bowl Sunday, so a lot to watch as we go through the next couple weeks. Tomorrow looks great, 54, 56 on Saturday. Cooler on Sunday, back near 50 on Monday, and then rain chances on Wednesday. And then look at next Thursday, high temp of only 34.
In the meantime, some January thunderstorms, if we get them, could be interesting, as you like to say.
Yeah, I'm always up for a few thunderstorms, especially at night.
As long as they're not severe. Thanks.
Exactly.
Coming up in sports, the Joplin boys aim to knock off the 5th-ranked East Newton Patriots. Plus, a dynamic duo at Union High School has the Eagles off to a hot start. Jacob Leonard has details next.
The East Newton Patriots are 17-1 with just 2 weeks left in the regular season. The Patriots are on an 11-game winning streak and have made it up to number 5 in the Missouri Class 4 state rankings. Tonight, East Newton puts that winning streak on the line, hosting the Joplin Eagles. A good start for the Patriots. Lucas Kimbrough puts it on the floor. He posted team-high 21. First quarter, though, all about Kyson Lehman. Lehman working across the lane for the finish, then turning the other way, and the foul. 10 in the first quarter for Kyson Lehman, finished with 18. Second quarter, Eagles try to stick around. Dante Washington, quick crossover, knocks down the 3. Just before half, Always Right, straight to the basket. Eagles within 7 at half, but East Newton pulls away to make it 12 straight, 66-50. Well, after putting together a 7-game winning streak, the Pitt State women have dropped back-to-back games against UNK and Fort Hays State. Tonight, the Gorillas hit the road to Northeastern State, aiming to get back on track against the Riverhawks. Kaylee DeMitz ties a season high with 25 points. Pitt State wins at 65-50. On the men's side, a little closer, but the Gorillas win that one 68-62. Zach Birch leads the way with 17 for PSU. Missouri Southern also in action tonight on the road against Rogers State. Huge game for Maddie Stokes on the women's side. Talking 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 7 blocks. Lions win at 81-78 in overtime. As for the Southern men, they're also a winner, 96-87. Cam Martin posts a season-high 38 points for the Lions. The Uniontown girls are on a roll right now, winning 8 straight games. Sports reporter Danny Terzer catches up with the Eagles to talk about what's behind the team's hot start.
It's been a special season for Uniontown's girls basketball team. The Eagles are 9-1 to start the season. Coach Dustin Miller says the break over the summer was a blessing in disguise.
Allowed the girls to really settle in and realize how much they love to play the game of basketball. So when we were able to get back going again, they came out firing.
Carly Schoenberger has made a statement in her senior season.
When she comes off the court, she's usually mad at me because she doesn't want to come off. And that's what I like to see.
She's definitely someone that I can rely on all the time.
Last week, Schoenberger reached 1,000 career points.
I kind of teared up. I was like, that just happened. Like, that was a huge goal of mine.
That's great for anybody at any level to hit 1,000 points, especially here. Not many people have done it, so it's pretty impressive, and I'm super excited for her.
Her running mate, Danielle Howard, is the team's leading scorer, averaging 18.8 points per game and giving the Eagles a strong 1-2 punch.
We've always had great chemistry. She's point guard and I can score, so it just kind of has always clicked.
We've always just pushed each other to be better, and that's what helps us get to where we were today.
A hot start for the Eagles, but there's still work to be done. As Uniontown now heads into the second half of the season, they'll look to close it out just as strong as they began.
We still have to keep working hard in practice every day, doing those fundamental skills, just keep that team chemistry going as much as we can and just work hard.
The goal is simple: win the league and make it to state. In Uniontown, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Uniontown will be right back on the floor tomorrow night, hosting Chetopa. Finally, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy appears to be staying with the team for at least another season. Bieniemy interviewed for 6 different head coaching jobs this year. He's also interviewed for multiple jobs in the last few years, but has yet to get the call. Here's Chiefs head coach Andy Reid on having Bieniemy stick around.
I'm glad I have him, but I'm not so glad I have him. So I was really hoping that he would have an opportunity to take one of these jobs. I mean, you guys know what I think of him. I think he's great, and I think he would be great for any of the number of teams that opened up and help them win football games.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Master Sergeant Aubrey Gass. The Joplin native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Master Sergeant Aubrey Gass, tonight's 4-state hero. So folks in some snowier parts of the Midwest are getting creative when it comes to handling all the snow they're seeing. After more than 14 inches of snowfall, a Lincoln, Nebraska family spent 7 hours carving a serpent and a dog and dinosaurs. This is their front yard. They say the creation stemmed from boredom and needing to get out of the house after a major snowstorm. Nice work. We'll be getting some precipitation here, but nothing you can build snow sculptures with. Doug Heddy.
Nope, not around here. It doesn't look like it. We're mainly going to have rain, but this next system will produce, another 8 to 10 inches of snow across Nebraska and Iowa. Once again, they've been hammered all winter. For us, 54, partly sunny tomorrow. Showers, even a few thunderstorms roll in late tomorrow night, mainly Saturday morning. High temp at 56, cooling down by Sunday.
See you tomorrow. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.